So, yeah, we're here again. We've got a couple good ideas for today's pod. We're going to talk about surprise possible purchaser of the naming rights to the Bills Stadium.
That's crazy.
We're going to do some swagger hound checks on some NFL equipment and also some NFL, just some NFL talk. And then also a little bit of an update on some of the NBA bubble stuff. It's kind of just right in the mix of the first round, so there's not too much to like individually report yet. But want to just keep you updated on that. We've got a crazy celebrity actor sighting that we're going to talk about. A famous character has made an appearance and is going to probably be doing a return. We're going to also talk about the saga of Alex Smith's leg.
Oh, my God, dude.
Because it's a crazy story, and I've got some details like kind of packed in to be able to go over a little bit of the story. Just go over that a little bit because it's pretty wild. And then we're going to stick with the music. I really enjoyed talking about the algorithm section.
Yeah, dude. I definitely love talking about music.
So we're going to try and fuck up your algorithm now here on Reg in the Zoo. It's episode 11, baby. Let's go.
Bring it. What's up? What's up? You guys are back here. Reg in the Zoo.
Hey, guys.
We're feeling pretty good right now.
How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good, dude.
What's the date today?
The date is the 21st.
It's Reg in the Zoo. We're here again. It's you and I, the Zoo and the Reg.
21st of August.
I am Reg, a.k.a. Jer.
I changed my Instagram name today.
You did change your Instagram name?
Yeah, the Zoo.
I thought that was somebody else that liked our stuff.
Nah.
I thought there was already a fan.
That'd be sweet. No, I just decided to change it to the Zoo 716.
That's cool.
Easier to find. Somebody already has the Zoo. Somebody already has underscore the Zoo.
Obviously.
Somebody has the underscore Zoo. Then underscore the underscore Zoo underscore. Somebody has that as well.
We're getting pretty active on Instagram. I've been doing a lot of following of local people in Buffalo and people that watch our stuff because whoever they are, I want them to know that I'm also watching them.
Yeah, dude, we're a few more
it's
videos.
It's our little creepy corner.
I think once our YouTube channel gets a little bigger, that's when we'll start getting audiences.
Instagram, YouTube, we got to build it all. We got to get people listening. We got to have them listening on the way to work. I think I like to listen to them in the car, so I want to have people want to listen to us.
Yeah, like, I agree. Like, I used to listen to music, like there always had to be music on, but ever since I got older, I'd rather just like listen to somebody talk about something interesting.
I feel like I want to be helpful for people, and that's why we ended up starting to do this in the first place, was to take some of the energy that we used to waste in other arenas and use it here.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what have you been up to? Anything special going on in your personal world before we get into it too heavily? We'll do a little warmy.
Not so much.
Little cup of Joe warmy uppy.
I don't know, dude. There's really nothing new going on. That's what I mean. It's still the same old shit, man.
Same old shit with you, huh? Nothing fucking new to report.
No, man. I don't have time to do much other than this and work because I only get like one day off a week. So, and then that's usually done like mowing the lawn, cleaning.
What about
laundry.
what about the second job thing? Because I obviously fucking hung up my second gig for this, but I know you still have at least some strings hanging over on that farm over there.
Oh, out on the farm. Yeah, out on the farm, it's going pretty good out there. We only do Sundays, and then I get to pretty much work
special Sundays with you and Peg at the farm. I don't want to make fun. I'm interested to hear more because the Zoo's nickname is the Zoo because partially because of his last name, but partially because of animals and his passion for them.
Yeah.
But
not in a Joe Exotic way.
In a kind of Joe Exotic way.
But more of like a Steve Irwin way minus.
Like Joe Exotic in the beginning of Joe Exotic's career before everything got behind him and he got into stuff. But so what's going on with that action?
It's still going down. Like I said, I only do
filming animal fights.
That'd be kind of funny. No, there's like these. They got some giant ass fucking cows, dude. These steer are fucking
Wonder
huge.
cows?
They're gigantic. They're like over 2,000 pounds. But she got like these 2 new ones. I'm only out there Sundays. I get paid while I'm out there, and then other times I'm just getting paid to edit the videos out and post and do all that shit.
That's pretty cool.
It's such a simple gig. It's easy, and it's I'm still doing videography, which is a huge plus. So it's definitely creating, and I get to be a little, she trusts me to do my own thing, so I don't really have to worry too much about any like give back or whatever. So
it's just work that you enjoy doing that you hope that somebody might benefit from.
Yeah, we don't do like anything crazy.
That's all we're doing here.
Just trying to promote the animals. That's it.
We're just trying to do that here, and we're just trying to have a good old time and make sure that we're useful for someone's day.
We're the animals on this show, dude.
So, one of the things that popped up this week was the Buffalo Bills stadium. The naming rights to the stadium went up a few weeks back. New era, and the Buffalo Bills sort of broke ties due to multiple financial reasons, but they came out and the Bills came out and just sort of said that it would be until further notice type of decision. It would be the Buffalo Bills Stadium.
It hasn't even been New Era for that long.
No. And it was, when we were kids, it was called Rich Stadium. Then it was Ralph Wilson Stadium, named after the former owner.
What was it? Was it originally Rich Stadium when they first built it?
No, it was called the Rock Pile, the old one, but I think it was always Rich
The Rock
Stadium.
Pile. That sounds pretty cool.
The Rock Pile was like the old football stadium.
Yeah.
But they were going to name it the Buffalo Bills Stadium, at least until further notice, and then Dave Portnoy, who we were just talking about on the pod with Eric from Buffalo Go. He threw his hat into the ring, which is sort of, it's a catch-22 because the first thing you think of is Barstool, but the second thing you would think of is Patriots in Boston because they are like super Boston. There it is.
Boom.
Yeah, fuck that. I went to Boston, and the people there, you could tell that they knew I wasn't from there, and they didn't like me because I wasn't from there.
I feel like they got some pretty hardcore fans in all their sports.
I went to a Celtics game, and I got drunk on whiskey and watched Paul Pierce's number get retired, and it was a great day. Thanks to my girl for that trip. It was a good one.
When was that?
A couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was wild. I was there. Yeah, it was a good night. But getting back to it, Barstool Sports, I was excited at first because I thought, well, we're a young franchise. We're sort of like a millennial rebirth fan base because a lot of kids of parents, I think, are fans because of the loyalty of like the parent.
Yeah.
And like that old school every Sunday like religious fanhood that you don't really get in every NFL team or every professional team. I think there's still a lot of it in like the NFL, but other franchises outside of like baseball and stuff, I don't think you get as much of like a commitment from fans as you do in some of the NFL teams in Buffalo specifically. But my first reaction was like, awesome, young company, Barstool Sports, Barstool Stadium. But it didn't take long before somebody immediately was like, yeah, but it wouldn't be out of Portnoy's realm of possibility to troll us and do something stupid or call it like Tom Brady Stadium or something. And I was kind of just thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if he could do that or would do that.
I think there'd be an uprising. There'd be an uprising by Buffalo citizens and protest that shit.
It would be interesting because, like, what could he do, and what would we do about it if they like really bought it? But I don't think that it would really happen. I think that it would be cool if it was something along the lines of Barstool Sports, Barstool Sports Field, Barstool Field in Orchard Park. Or like, I don't know. By Barstool Park.
I don't know what they'd call it. I mean, honestly, I would say Barstool Sports Stadium or something like that.
Barstool Field.
That wouldn't be too bad, actually.
Field is like...
I like that.
It was New Era Field.
Yeah, because it's not really a stadium.
It is a stadium, but like nobody ever really says stadium anymore.
But it's open, yeah.
It's like center, arena, bloodhounds, foxes.
I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see it come up with something cool, but it's a bummer that New Era is not going to be there because I thought New Era was really cool to have here.
It was cool. It was kind of cool, and now I feel like New Era is just falling out of... I don't know. I feel like they hit a real big height, and there was a lot of people that were working for New Era, and it's too bad that a lot of people probably lost their jobs and that's going on. But
yeah, that sucks.
It's kind of like... It's kind of weird because, like, what else? Like, New Era, like, what do? They make apparel, and they make hats, and they make really good hats, but, like...
Yeah, like, everybody gets their hats.
Their hat has kind of fallen out of favor. I think it got a little too pricey. It's like the baseball cap, which were hot for a minute. I had a lot of them. I used to buy one to always have one. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't think like there's that real like need. The dad cap has come in. They don't make one of those.
The dad cap. I mean, this is a New Era hat. I fucking love this thing.
Their quality, like they keep their quality to a point where it's like something you could wear on a baseball field, but it's like you got to maybe make some other stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
How are you going to make money? I don't know.
You can only have
it's
so
unfortunate.
many hats.
It would be fun to play with their brand at least for a little bit because I think you could do a lot with it. It's like such an ancient brand that you could really play the saga of that reminisce kind of old, really old, like take it back to like black and white and do just like apparel. Just make clothes, re-release it, just do vintage New Era. Like, I don't know. You could do so much things with the resources they probably had.
Yeah, like I wonder what is the deal going on with them.
It's unfortunate to see, but who knows? We might be seeing Josh Allen play at Barstool Field. Maybe it won't be that yet. Maybe it would be down the line still. Maybe they would take a lot. I'm sure Terry and Brandon Beane and Kim Pagula and everybody would really prevent anything stupid from happening. We're in pretty good hands, I think.
Dude, I'm getting really excited for this season. We're just looking...
Well, it's literally that time of the year, dude. I get, like, my, like, neck hairs stand up, like, this time of the year. It's football season, dude.
And then it means that fall's here, too, which is great. But, dude, I just looking so forward. Josh Allen's looking killer.
He does look good.
Diggs looking good. And what... I saw that post you did. Were you, somebody from the Seahawks? Rumored?
Oh, Ziggy Ansah.
Yeah.
Rumored. He's a pass rusher. Crazy pass rusher. He'd be great to have. He's a good player. We have such a deep team and a young team, and that Gabe Davis, he already made a flashy play in the highlights. There's so many Bills like Instagram pages now. I've been following all of them.
Yeah, I follow them.
So I'll be like sharing a lot of their content, stealing it, but like sharing it because I think it's sweet that it exists. But I saw Gabe Davis made a catch over the middle on like just a light drag route, and he took it up the sideline mad far. He's going to be great. I did see Josh Allen threw like a deep ball to Stephon Diggs, but I also saw there was media rules that like they're not allowed to film team. They're not allowed to live tweet during team. They're not allowed to basically do anything during team. So all the footage that you're seeing is all like during individuals or one-on-ones or stuff like that. Like not a lot of stuff is allowed to be filmed. But from what I did see, like you could still tell how people look, and there's been a few one-on-ones, and Josh Norman also we signed, and he's a talented corner, but he's really like a loudmouth player, and he usually backs it up, but he's almost like that borderline toxic loudmouth, and he already pulled a hamstring, which is unfortunate, but it's interesting to see how he's going to turn out. We have another running back, a new running back from Utah, Zach Moss, who's like looks thick, like he looks like an every down back. He looks like he should be playing, like getting a lot of the carries, and then we still have Singletary coming back.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited.
We're super stacked. Like
I know, dude,
the AFC is stacked. It's tough because Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes are in the AFC, so we're gonna have to go through them to get to like a Super Bowl legitimately or an AFC championship. But Deshaun Watson's still in our division or our conference, so it's gonna be tough. But I do think it would be sick if we went back to the red helmets. What do you think? I've shared something, but what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely like the red helmets. I'm not a big fan of the white and everything. I love the blue jerseys, though. Those are my favorite. I remember ordering, so I think I'm not sure if I talked about it before, but my friend ordered me a jersey from China or wherever for like $20. We were doing that shit, and apparently he got them, and then he just lost them. And I was supposed to get an Iverson jersey, like an oversized Iverson jersey for snowboarding, and then a Josh Allen jersey. And this was in 2018.
Damn, dude.
And then it was just beginning of this year that he confessed that he lost them. So I waited like a year and a half.
He probably kept them.
They definitely wouldn't fit
Let's
him, dude.
put him up against the lockers, bro.
This dude's like 6'4", and he's like just fat.
All
just
right,
really
so
big.
you fucking talk to him and I'll
like,
fucking
I'm just
Boondock
saying,
Saints
that's
him.
I mean, like my jersey wouldn't.
I'm just kidding out there, guy.
My jersey wouldn't even fit him. And
Just kidding out there, guy. I'm not going to Boondock Saints you unless you did take his jerseys, in which case I will Boondock Saints you.
There you go. No, he.
I don't give a fuck.
He's a Giants fan. That's where he's from.
Well, what kind of Iverson jersey are we talking about here? Do you know which one it was?
I can do a quick search here.
Because
It wasn't the white one.
I'm putting you on the spot because it matters. The blue joint, I had one of those as a kid. My mom and dad loved me very much. They got me stuff. I had the blue one. It was sick. But
the blue one, and it had stars going down the side.
well, was it the throwback? Or was it like the blue with like the Sixers weird like graphic across the top that they had with like the side number, and then it had like the weird 90s number? I had that.
Have that. No.
I had that weird blue alternate Iverson jersey as a kid, and I still have it somewhere in like my closet at home, my parents' house.
I'm like so bummed.
I've got a lot of old jerseys that like they were almost too small for a minute, but now they fit perfectly because they were like mediums. And then, like, jerseys were supposed to be bigger. So when I was a kid, they were bigger. And then I kind of got a little bit too big for them. But now they're, like, supposed to be tight again.
It's funny how they're going, like, a lot of the teams always wore long shorts. Like, remember, like, late 90s or whatever. And now they're going to, like, really short shorts.
Yes.
That
I find to be cool that short shorts are becoming a thing again.
Yeah.
It's almost like Weekend at Bernie's, like, late 80s shorts length. And it feels like... Even like streetwear like clothing brands are like doing like hot shorts now. I keep sending all these shorts to my buddies, like shorts game, and like they have some pretty crazy shorts out there that'll be like 90s shit that I remember thinking I thought was gonna be cool, and it's like all getting kind of cool now. Like weird. Do you remember when shorts would have like almost like you'd have one layer? And then underneath there'd be like a tighter layer, like compression short.
Yeah.
I was talking about these actually before. Or even like the like double sweat material where it'd be like one sweatpant and then another sweatpant over the top. Those are kind of weird. Like the t-shirt material ones.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But like still, like those vintage ones, I've seen them at like the vintage shops.
That's legit.
Online. And like all the NBA players, like Jason Tatum, I shared that picture of him with like throwback, weird short shorts on. I just think it's cool that short shorts are coming back.
Did you see the Space Jam jerseys, the new ones?
Yeah, I actually I think a lot of people are missing the homage. There was a like turquoisey, like aqua Jordan-esque all-star jersey that came out one year in like San Antonio or I think San Antonio.
Really?
There was a turquoise All-Star jersey that everybody definitely likes, that has seen it before, and if they saw it, they'd be like, oh, yeah. And I don't know. It was one of the years Jordan came back maybe or something, but I think that they used that color because of that color, and people aren't getting it, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
I don't hate the jerseys.
I couldn't believe how many people were like upset about it.
What was weird to me is why they did that preview, and it was almost like it was on a green screen, but then they didn't put any of the characters in it next to him. Like, why was he alone?
Yeah,
it almost seemed like a screen test. Like, oh, let's see what the people say. Because movies are totally doing that now with these big budgets. We can't miss.
I want to see how they're going to do the cartoons, if they're going to draw them or whatever, or 3D them or whatnot.
They're going to be 3D.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, I kind of want it to look like the old one with how they were drawn on there and shit. Like,
I love those
that.
Super high def Ren and Stimpy zoom in.
Oh yeah, and they'd hit. You see like
they're like
zits and hairs. Always the hair all squiggly.
I love those drawings. I
Those
think
cool.
that'd be so funny if they were all like that. Like if they were all like that, that'd be great.
Oh, I think
Space Jam was all grimy, like Ren and Stimpy.
I forgot who's streaming Ren and Stimpy right now. I know something is. But yeah, dude, what else you got over there?
Well, I was gonna sort of talk about just that NFL teams are coming back. Some of the college teams are trying to practice and stuff, but it is cool to see just players in uniform again, and they have the sickest visors and the sickest face masks.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always thought was cool, but players are wearing these reflective face masks in practice and stuff, and they always say that you can't wear one in a game. You're supposed to only be able to wear a clear one in a game so that they can see your eyes if something happens.
Yeah.
But now I've also seen multiple players have these lower visors, basically like a shield on the lower part of the face mask.
Yeah.
And it looks so weird. It looks like some of them, I saw some of the prototypes where it was almost it looked almost like one visor all the way underneath, because they come underneath the face mask and then they clip on these little clips. But I saw Matt Ryan and Tom Brady wearing a regular old face mask with it open, no visor, but then they have this plastic underneath, and it's so corny. Matt Ryan had it. It looks so cheesy. It reminded me of Nickelodeon Guts.
Fucking loved Guts, dude.
Nickelodeon Guts.
They had those baseball helmets, those thick.
There were so many different uniforms.
Duck-billed framed friggin' face mask and shit.
They had a lot of different uniforms. The plastic, I saw one of the early episodes. I started getting into it on YouTube on the algorithms. But this one they were just in these little carts. They were pedal carts, but they were way too fast.
Yeah.
And they had even adults around the little track to make sure that they didn't smash too hard. And one of them got off track. They were almost like a bike chain in between, so they were going pretty fast. The one kid got totally turned around, and they had to spin him around like a little bitch. But the one kid went pretty fast. Second kid spun around like a bitch. Second kid zoomed and beat the first kid. But they had on these weird quasi sports helmets. They were the weirdest 90s jerseys / uniforms ever.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to shout them out. The Nickelodeon Guts was not only a great production, great show, but technologically innovative. Mike O'Malley, great frontman for Nickelodeon shows.
Dude, he was a writer on Shameless.
Really?
Yeah, he was a writer for them.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, when I found that out, I saw in the end credit, I'm like, wait, no way, it's that Mike O'Malley. I mean, it's a pretty unique name. And then
he's a legend.
Yeah, if you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, he's in it. It's pretty cool. He was also.
It's interesting to see how those writers
on that show
around.
Yes Dear, I think too. Is that the name of it? He was pretty funny.
That guy's gotten around. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a great show too.
As far as but yeah, I've been sharing a lot of like the players and stuff on our Instagram. I just love seeing new players in new uniforms, like Phillip Rivers, who's been a Charger forever, is in a Colts uniform, and he just looks weird. He looks like a dad of 12 kids because he is. Joe Burrow, who's a like rookie quarterback, he's playing for the Bengals, and he's like doing photo shoots and being in practice in his Bengals gear. It just looks.
I always love the Bengals.
He looks good in it.
Jerseys.
And Andy Dalton, the Ginge, the Red Rocket, he is in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, which looks weird. Aaron Rodgers got cucked by the Packers, and they drafted a young, strapping, athletic quarterback, and he had like a little like wine fest on an interview with Kyle Brandt about how they drafted a quarterback. And I find that to be just soft on his part because he inherited Brett Favre's team. And it's like, what did you think was going to happen, man? Like, you thought you were going to ride it out with no threat to your job? Like,
we
didn't need to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Ryan's another one that he just looks old. He looks like Cap Rooney in Any Given Sunday, the older Dennis Quaid quarterback character.
Yeah.
Versus
who
like
gets
the younger.
His back broken and then comes back.
Yes. I also saw an awesome. I listened to at least half of it, but Ryan Russillo on The Ringer did a interview with Michael Vick, and the first half is like really about sports and stuff. But I'm just getting into the part where he talks about going to prison and stuff, and that looks really cool. That Russillo's a good interviewer. I've been listening to him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when that shit came out about Michael Vick. You can't help but hate the guy at that time.
Yeah, totally.
Time. But
it's disgusting to look at, but it's also like Twilight Zone to look at. It's just another example of our world like being forced to open their eyes to shit that they can't avoid anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, I like him now. It seems like he did a complete 180 based on fucking that shit. But he was fucking awesome. I remember when he fucking came out, dude. He was just nonstop. Like, he was the fucking on every highlight on SportsCenter. Like, he was every week.
He was also like a swag king. Like, he was a swag changer. Like, he wore a visor. He wore like a sleeve. He always had sick cleats. He was just a monster. But he was also only 6 foot, 200 pounds, which is just wild.
Yeah, but he can run like crazy.
Oh my God.
Good. I'm surprised he never went to won a Super Bowl.
Speaking of sports weird shows, do you remember Pros vs. Joes on Spike TV?
I don't know if I really ever watched it.
It wasn't great, but there was a couple of them that were really good. There was Pros vs. Joes, and it was like it would be regular, like really kind of regular guys that were still pretty athletic. Super like athletic, middle-aged dad bod guys. But then they'd strap up and like have to tackle like Jerry Rice or like fucking Michael Vick.
Funny.
Or
I do kind of remember that now, actually.
Yeah, it was not bad. I think Goldberg did one once.
Oh shit! Now it's starting to sound familiar.
That was not a bad show. Pros versus Joes.
That's fucking hilarious. You ever see the movie Necessary Roughness? With Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula.
Bakula, I think that's his name.
Is that?
He's the dude from Quantum Leap and shit.
Does that have?
Jim Kelly's in it.
Necessary Roughness. Does he play for like North Texas?
Yeah, like some Texas State or Universe, like
North Texas State. They have silver helmets and green jerseys.
Green.
Bro, it's funny.
And he's like a 40-year-old.
Name a football movie. I can't at least name the team that they played on. That's a good movie. I don't remember it all, but I remember the ending being strangely not bad football.
Yeah, like it was pretty cool. I remember they had the bad dude was Flat Top. Sinbad was in it, dude. Sinbad played like
Necessary Roughness.
Defensive end or something.
Scott Bakula was the QB.
Bakula.
Blackula. That's that porno you watched last night, bro.
Dude, no.
Blackula is going to give you that D.
That's actually an old horror movie. You can Google it.
Necessary Roughness.
Yeah,
with Scott Bakula.
Yeah, dude.
Scott Blackula.
And Sinbad. Fuck, that one actor with the voice was just that voice that sounded like he smoked 1 million cigarettes. That was really famous. He was really good.
Blackula.
No, dude,
the Danza slap comes around again.
I'll Google.
Do the IMDb for Necessary Roughness. Is Rick Moranis in it?
Blackula, 1972.
Or is Rick Moranis that movie where he gets his neck broken?
Rick Moranis isn't in that.
I've never
Are
seen
you thinking
that
of
movie.
Lucas?
Yeah, I've still never seen a whole thing of Lucas.
Fucking Corey Haim.
There's a lot of great football movies. There's so many low-key great football movies that don't get any recognition.
Yeah, so Necessary Roughness, 91.
We will plan a actual best movies of football.
IMDb.
And we will do some actual homework on this, but we can still keep going a little bit more today.
IMDb, 6.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 33%.
This is for Lucas, or this is for Necessary Roughness?
Necessary Roughness.
Well, Blackula's in it. We don't listen. Don't ever read a fucking movie. I don't like movie reviews.
No.
Ever since I was a little kid, a small boy in the sunny suburbs of Cheekta Vegas, New York, I didn't like Siskel and Ebert. I didn't like Ebert and Rober. I didn't like
reviews.
Regis. I didn't fucking care what anybody had to say. All right? I'm just going to listen to my movie and I'm going to watch it. All right? Figure it out.
Sort yourselves out.
Sort it out. But no,
Tell your mom I said hi.
Necessary. He wears a black visor. Fuck you, Shorzy.
Oh. I can't think of anything.
They're so annoying.
I think I do a good story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what your mom said last night as I was dicking her down.
Tell your mom to stop calling me.
Yeah, they're so annoying, but
hilarious.
that is so funny.
Dude, the best is when he's doing upside down push-ups or whatever. Or whatever
in the stall.
And it's just hanging out. And they're all just sitting there
watching
watching
Letterkenny.
Dude, it's so fucking
It's a great
funny.
show.
Yeah.
It's very simple and very good.
People say the Canadian version of It's Always Sunny, kind of.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
I also saw...
Rat ass. I love the dudes he fights in the first season. And the one dude's name is Rat ass because he's got it's hairy right above
He's got hair like a rat.
It was so fucking funny, dude.
Because he's got lower hair. He's got lower back hair that makes it look like a rat.
Yeah, it's a rat ass.
Dude. Found a stud for Stormy.
Oh, so fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gourd.
Oh my god.
Oh my gourd. I can't beat this heat, y'all. Dude, he's fucking...
The preacher.
Yeah, dude. Pastor Glenn or something.
Glenn.
I think it's
John.
what it is. He's fucking... Dude,
That's
he's
a great
so
character.
Funny. He's hilarious. He's one of the producers, too. I think he directs some of the episodes as well.
Yeah. Leading story, speaking of great characters, leading story as we flip the script into film and TV and watching and just recommendations.
Watch.
Great examples of film, great examples of production or comedy, dramedy. But Borat, one of my favorite characters of all time, but also one of my favorite examples, and I don't know what the name of this is. It's sort of method acting, but I don't know what to call it, but I call them rejectors. Just made that up on my own Instagram when I was younger and more drunk. But characters of people that act in real life, but the people that they're acting in front of don't know. Those are the best actors. Joaquin Phoenix did a documentary called I'm Still Here.
Yeah.
Where everyone thought he went on fucked up.
He went on Letterman and was acting all weird and shit. But then right at the end of that interview, he looks at Letterman and kind of says it's just for a movie role or some shit.
Yeah, and everybody really believed him. Yeah. And he played the script. But that line of the reality fantasy line is something that I find to be so remarkable. And a lot of people like toe that line or walk out of that line or like get out of it or try to get out of it. Like Britney Spears can't get out of it, allegedly. Like she's in this big like social justice case.
With her dad, right?
Yeah, that like she can't like get her own money or get an education or get married
Well, that's
without
so
like his
weird.
permission. She's like a slave.
Like how, like she's fucking, look how old she is. She's only like 40 years old.
It's
she
weird.
Can't fucking do that. That's so weird.
She's
I don't understand
messed up, dude. She's like MK Ultra messed up. But on the positive side of messed up, Borat was filmed making a film somewhere, and he was in full Borat regalia, one of the best characters of all time. And also, it means that they're going to be doing more of him. Now, it's funny that they're going to have a challenge of finding people who aren't going to recognize him. Like, they're really going to have to dig deep to find people that aren't going to be like, oh, you're Borat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wonder how they're
It's going to
doing
be
it.
crazy.
Or maybe it could be for like a commercial, though. We don't, I mean.
No, I
did
think
they
he's
announce?
definitely, I said, like, not all heroes wear capes because I think Sacha Baron Cohen is like, he's one of those actors that he's doing stuff with the art of acting that goes beyond commercial, film, corporate, sports media, like self-podcasting. He's taking it and acting in real life and fooling people to show people what fools people really are.
Dude, just some of the shit he gets away with. Like, how does he... I don't know. He's definitely, if you think about it, he really is one of the best actors. Because how many people can do that to stranger?
In many
like,
different
in a
times.
situation
he's got that
like
other
he's
show
in.
where he's doing different characters.
And he exposed a couple fucking people in politics, which is
Yeah.
great. What's better than
Actual
that?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shout out to Sacha Baron Cohen for being like the king of acting in real life.
Yeah, dude. He's fucking killer. I remember when Borat came out. It was like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then he did that one where he, Bruno.
Yeah, I never actually watched Bruno. I heard that there was a lot of wieners in it, and I didn't watch it because of that.
I think it's in that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't care.
He goes to like an orgy or something. I think that's in Bruno. And like he just keeps looking at the dude, and the dude's like flips out on him. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
That actually
like,
sounds hilarious.
Dude, it's so funny, dude.
I've never watched it.
Like
that actually
that's what I mean. Like
really funny.
In a situation like that,
now that I'm 30,
how does he keep character and be like just now look at me, yes, look at no,
see,
look at
that's
me.
his. He's so disgusting with some of his characters too. He
gets
repulsive.
really into it. Yeah. That's
have you
crazy.
ever seen the movie Out of the Furnace?
No.
So we were talking about Casey Affleck, who did I'm Still Here with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I wanted to recommend to you and to our viewers to check out the film Into the Furnace, which has Christian Bale, Casey Affleck, and Woody fucking Harrelson. But Woody Harrelson plays the antagonist, and it's a crazy story about these two like brothers who live in this small like West Virginia kind of town-ish. And the one's like a former like Marine, I think, and he gets into like these like low-key fights, these fighting rings, kind of like the dog fighting thing, but humans.
Woody Harrelson's awesome.
And Woody Harrelson plays like the like just badass. That's like kind of just higher up on the dark side of this like reality. So I'll leave you at that. But the soundtrack to it, the score or the soundtrack or whatever you want to call it, is so great. And the way that it works with the story and the way that it works with the setting of the story and the shots and the pace of the film, right from the opening shot. You could watch literally just the opening shot of this movie and you'll know what I mean, because it's so finely done. It's so well done. You got to check that out.
Yeah, I definitely
Into
will.
the Furnace.
I'll definitely
It's a
check it out.
low-key movie that nobody really talks about.
White Men Can't Jump. You remember Woody Harrelson in that?
White Man Can't Jump, I feel if we're talking about 90s short shorts, that era, racial equality and finding love in one another, that's such a great story.
I love that movie, dude. And I love Wesley Snipes in that movie.
How many times do you think you've watched that movie?
Anytime it's on TV.
Dude,
Like, anytime it was on TV growing up.
It was always on, too.
Always on. Always on. And I'd probably watch it, like, every time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't always catch in the beginning, but it's like a movie I can turn on any time.
Best movies are movies that you can watch any scene of, and it's like, I'll catch a scene, and even if it's only a minute, I'll still have had that scene. That's a great movie. Has a great story, great subplots with Rosie Perez and her whole Jeopardy run.
I know, right? What a weird thing to put in a movie, but it worked out so fucking good.
And it did. It made it, like, real. And Wesley Snipes, great job in that movie.
He was fucking awesome. He should have won for that movie. He was so good in it. They had awesome chemistry, though.
The uniforms of the other teams were something that growing up I always found to be remarkable. Because they had, like, 2-on-2s. It was, like, only deuces. Like, you were only playing 2-on-2. They were always playing 2-on-2.
Yeah.
And they were hustling. But those teams would always have, like, matching, like, skinny back 90s jerseys. And they were on a beach. And, like, there was never wind. You know, it's a movie. One thing about playing outside is, like, if there's any wind, you got to take it to the rack. Like, you can't shoot. I like to shoot. I'm a shooter. Shoot.
Yeah, I used to be pretty decent when I was young at free throws, but
I'm a confused basketball player.
So friggin' long.
I know the game of basketball so well, but I'm a confused player. Like, I never really had, like, I had several diagnosed positions. Like, they'd want me to play in different roles, but I never really, like, when I play with my friends and stuff, I always kind of play like my own self, and that's a totally different, like, version of basketball for me.
Yeah.
But I could also play with, like, a team and, like, run the system. So, like, I know that, like, I know little rules of how to play, but I don't, like, individually probably stand out to many people, but I could still get out and score and play, and like playing defense. Playing defense is fun. Like, shutting someone down is, like, one of the funnest things to do in basketball,
Yeah,
I think.
I got shut out. I was kind of shorter when I was younger, so I got shut out quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you get shut out.
I did the Southline League at the Boys and Girls Club.
At Lancaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still were playing there. Like, me and my buddies were still playing pickup over there. They do a nice job with Depew or Lancaster with the boys' club gyms. And they do a lot of good stuff for kids over there, too.
I remember when I first went there, I'm like, where's the gym? How did they fit a gymnasium in this building? Because it looks so small from the outside.
That building in Lancaster where boys' club is 100% got to be haunted. It's so scary.
I remember at one of the games, you know, like how they had the weight room right next to it was like...
Yeah, it's still there.
You walk right onto the gym, yeah. And, like, kids would go in there and, like, fuck around, which they definitely shouldn't have.
Oh, my God.
And the one kid, you know, like...
Of course.
You know the weights that, like, you pull... Yeah. The free weights you pull down and then the weights lift up? Mm-hmm. Well, this one kid couldn't hold it and let go, and this kid's hands were right there, and they just fucking slammed on his hands.
Did you see this happen?
Yeah. He didn't break his fingers, though, or anything.
What did you do?
He was fucking crying.
What did you do? What went through your brain?
I didn't know what to do. I thought, like, his hands were going to be, like, ripped off. You know, I mean, I was fucking 10 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, what is that, like, 5th grade
What
or
an
something?
idiot, though.
Yeah, dude.
Idiot putting his hands there.
Then the parents came in freaking out.
They were probably idiots,
what are you
too.
doing here? Yeah, dude. Fucking crazy.
A lot of idiot parents. I'm 30 now. I've got friends who are parents.
Yeah, I got
Not
friends.
a lot of the people I know are really idiots at this point. But I see a lot of people out there that have kids, and they seem like they're idiots. But it's definitely interesting to see the fall season kind of transpire into football, which we would already be in preseason right now. I saw a meme about the time of the year, which is scary. It was basically saying, like, where sunset's going to be in the next couple of weeks, and it's like we've already passed the last 8 o'clock sunset, and it's going to keep dwindling earlier and earlier, which is so depressing. But it also means it's the time of the year for spooky season, so we can start talking about weird stuff. But speaking of weird stuff, we can transition from sports. I know we already were talking about movies and stuff. We go all over the place because we don't have rules here yet. We don't have anybody to tell us what to do. We don't have any producers here to give us facts when we need them. We're going to need help here, so we're going to keep expanding Reg in the Zoo. This is only the beginning.
Yeah.
But hell of a transition from Reg here. Spooky stuff, spooky season. We don't want to miss the fact that football season hasn't even started yet, and we're going to talk football. But one part of it is Alex Smith's spooky leg.
Oh my God.
His leg.
Did you see it in the recovery video? He's running out and like they're like squirting him or squirt guns or whatever. He can barely. He's like limping. It's like, dude, how
He's
are you?
like an old war hero.
How are you gonna play? I mean,
dude,
obviously
his
it's
leg.
terrible. Like
Let's just get a couple things out of the way before we get too serious. His leg looks like it's drawn on Microsoft Paint by a child,
and it's got the blur effect on it.
It definitely has a little blur effect. It looks also like that one effect when you do the clone tool, but when you like push it a little too far and you're trying to fill something in, but then you push something, it looks like that.
It just doesn't make any sense, dude.
It also has like a weird, and again, I feel awful. Like I feel like I'm making jokes, but I'm not trying to make jokes. It's like reporting the truth. He's got like this weird like half brace on the back of it that is like looks sort of like a just almost something that like a Forrest Gump like contraption.
Yeah.
And he is out there practicing. So now to give you a little history on Alex Smith, his leg is kids today are probably listening to this, obviously. Older people are obviously listening to this. We're so important. We've got thousands of listeners around the world. But to give a quick history lesson on Alex Smith, we're not talking about just some bum. The guy has played like, I don't know, something around like 14 seasons, I want to say. But he's got 193 touchdowns. He started his first season with one touchdown and 11 interceptions in his first official season. So talking about a guy that can come back from adversity. He's faced adversity his whole career. He was never like the darling in San Francisco, even though he was the first overall draft pick. He finally gets to Kansas City. He finds a home there with Andy Reid. Has a couple good seasons. Tops out at like 4,000 yards, a career season in 2016 with 15 touchdowns only and 8 interceptions. Oh, I'm sorry, that was for 2016. In 2017, 26 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, but that's when they had Patrick Mahomes, so they sent him to Washington. And he goes to Washington, where he's having a decent year. Nothing crazy to write home about. Only 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2,100 yards. But did you ever hear? A lot of people have probably seen his leg by now. If you haven't, you got to look it up. It's a crazy injury, crazy leg.
I just did a Google search again on it.
It's wild. It's gruesome. It looks like bacon, like sliced up, like when you first put it in the frying pan.
It's terrible.
But, dude, have you ever heard the legend of the Alex Smith and Joe Theismann comparison?
Yeah, and Theismann said that Smith's injury is way worse than his.
So, this is a quick rundown of all the similarities of this Redskins curse that they're now called the Washington football team because they got rid of the Redskins finally. But Alex Smith and Joe Theismann both snapped their legs in gruesome injuries. Both broke their right tibia and fibula. Both happened on November 18th. Theismann's in 85, Smith's in 2018. Both playing for the Washington Redskins. Both playing in Washington, D.C. Both playing and tackled and having their leg be snapped on the 39-yard line. The final score of the game that they broke their leg in, both in 1985 when Theismann broke his and in Alex Smith's 2018 game, was against the defending Defensive Player of the Year in a 23-21 game.
Yeah.
Same score.
It's fucking crazy.
And their left tackle in both games had left the field in an injury. And that is one of the wildest things that I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, nobody talks about it, really. It's a curse that, like, that's a clear, like, curse there. You can't you can't say that that's not a curse. It's on the same day. That's like some real Native American curse stuff right there.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up.
Same day of the year, same place geographically, same location, field, yard line, same score. Like, you can't make that up. That's so spooky.
It kind of reminds me of the Abraham Lincoln JFK conspiracy.
Babe and JFK. What's the story with that?
That they were just killed they were killed 100 years apart.
Exactly 100 years apart?
Yeah.
On the same day?
I don't think the same day, just same year, I think. I don't know the conspiracy that well, but I remember being told it. We learned about it in school, just like the teacher spent like...
Who knows what we learned in school?
Dude, that was pretty cool, though. And just some of the names matched up, like, it was just really weird.
Did you know that the Earth is flat?
I just watched a documentary on that.
I'll watch one once in a while.
Dude, it's so funny. This dude is just like... The one dude in it, he just felt so fucking positive. And then he's like, dinosaurs? He's like, they're not real. They never existed.
I believe it.
I don't.
I believe anything.
No, stop.
I believe anything. Dinosaurs are just big birds.
I mean, they were definitely...
With teeth.
I'd like to think they evolved into birds after you watch Jurassic Park and then you read the book. Or read some books.
I think a lot more shit used to eat us.
Yeah.
I think we used to be a lot more edible.
Until we designed weapons and shit.
Weapons.
Axes.
We started working
spears.
together. Communication.
Like, what was the first word ever spoken?
Hi.
Hey.
Probably a lot of the words that we're using here on this fucking stupid pod. What was the first word ever spoken? It would be an awesome podcast to have like some linguist on and be like, what is the first word
Let's get in touch with somebody at the museum.
ever spoken, bro?
Dude, you telling me about this, bro? I'm glad.
But Alex Smith's spooky leg, he's back on the field. We'll stay tuned. I think it's going to literally snap like an art project, like a children's art project. I think one day he's just going to be walking down the street and it's just going to...
Oh, my God.
And I hope not. Alex Smith has a pretty attractive wife, also noteworthy. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of the NFL players do.
Yeah, they definitely do. And
Josh Allen's girl?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady.
She's pretty.
You don't want to disrespect any of our players' wives.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm definitely not disrespecting. I'm just saying.
Jordan Poyer's got a smoke wife. I can't remember. Rachel Bush. She's like supermodel. He plays for us.
They all are, dude.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, I hope so. I hope they're all really good moms and really good wives too. To their men.
Does Josh? No, Josh Allen doesn't live here, right?
I'm sure he's got to at least stay here.
I mean, yeah,
during the season.
I'm sure they got whatever.
They got to have a place. I drive around a lot in the Southern Tier, and I always like wonder, like, is this where Josh Allen lives? Somewhere out here?
I always thought that.
Sounds so creepy now.
I heard Thurman Thomas lives in Springville.
Thurman Thomas, like, my brother saw Thurman at like a high school game down here in Buffalo. He was just like watching a game. I think he had some relative in a game or something like that. But it is cool to see some of the younger Bills players are definitely gravitating to the area, gravitating to the vibe, gravitating to the fan base. It's kind of why I think that Barstool thing would be all right, because I think it would benefit the city of Buffalo more to have Barstool put their name here than for us to say Barstool is not allowed here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so, like, you can't do that in 2020 and be like, man, like, you're not allowed to buy it because you're too immature.
Yeah, definitely not now.
If there's, like, money, if the freaking price is right, if the guy's got the money, and he doesn't, like, if Portnoy isn't, like, he's a Patriots fan, but if the Patriots suck this year, he's not going to be a Patriots fan. That's how those Patriots fans are. The Celtics fans are so raw and shitty. I'm not saying all of them are. There's a lot of mix of, like, when I went to that Celtics game, there was a lot of, like, Celtics fans that were cool people. A lot of kids, a lot of families. But then there was also people that were like, you could tell they were assholes. And they were just like, I remember when my dad and my brother watched the Celtics in like the Rick Pitino era, and they were awful. And I just like listened to Bill Simmons talk about the Celtics. And I'm like, if the Celtics were shitty right now, none of you people, like these group of fans, I'm saying that every fan base really has, but those fake fans that aren't there if the team's not doing good, I don't think that if the Patriots are going to be dominant in the way that they've been, that Portnoy is going to call it Bill Belichick Stadium or something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not going to happen.
Weird.
Like, that's not realistic. If the guy's going to put his money into it, he's not going to just waste his money to do some stupid stunt. I guess he would. But I don't know. I think it would be cool to bring Barstool to Buffalo.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
I think what they've done from a media standpoint is cool. I think it'd be awesome if we had, like, if he, like, set up shop here. It'd be great for Buffalo.
I mean, they're huge, dude. Barstool Sports is fucking gigantic.
Yeah, they've broken ground in media and content and delivery, I think.
Yeah, I always watch their Snap stories.
They have a lot of interesting reporting. They do a lot of interesting things. They share a lot of interesting things. That Trainwreck Sports here in Buffalo, they've done an awesome job with sharing a lot of stuff. The one thing is, like, betting in sports is becoming more normal. And that's something that I've been playing a little bit of FanDuel, and I enjoy, like, kind of watching it.
I used to love doing that.
I enjoy watching it. Like, I've been playing during the NBA playoffs, and I'm not, like, in the negative yet, but I'm not, like, winning. But I could see how if you play enough, you could probably strike it once and get lucky. It'd be crazy if I, like, opened up my FanDuel and I, like, was winning, like, $2,000 or something like that. But no, it's fun to do, but that's the one thing that, like, it's interesting how money comes into the mix in that way. Like, you could probably make money doing a podcast about fantasy if enough people listened and enough people started making money. It's kind of the same thing as, like, being on the record. But I'd much rather just break down sports and break down, like, the culture of sports and report on it than report on how to make money on betting it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to put some money down, like, in a legit fantasy league. You know, put like $500 in with, like, I don't know, maybe 12 other people.
My buddy just did one, and I was almost not going to do it, but it's $200.
I always play brackets, March Madness. That's always fun.
We didn't get to do that this year.
2 years ago, I won Super Bowl squares. That was
I won
cool.
$1,250 last year on a Super Bowl score with my parents and my brother.
My brother does.
I had my mom hold the money because I didn't want to waste it.
My brother does the craziest ones, dude.
My brother finds them too.
And the pool's like, so my brother hosts one, and the pool's like, the winner gets like 10 G's.
Yeah, that's how this one was.
Like,
I think we split 3.
It's like 500 a square or some shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, this one I think was 300.
My cousin won a few grand on it. And then because my brother hosts it, anytime whoever wins gives them some money too.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of money, and there's a lot of money going into it. Like, even ESPN is bought into it now. They're doing, like, everything you see on ESPN. If you look on the other channel, there's something about betting and, like something about the numbers. Like, it's taken over a lot of their stuff. That's why I like The Ringer. Like, The Ringer he does talk about betting, but he almost just talks about his own life. That's Bill Simmons. I listen to them a lot, and they're like an inspiration for me on this. Speaking of inspiration, let's wrap it up with music, because music is always something that brings life to me. It brings me inspiration to create, gives me ideas on. Every time I listen to music, I almost picture scenes in my head. But I wanted you to let me know a couple songs, or rather artists possibly to listen to. But I did have you listening to Dog Blood really quickly. That's one that back in the day, it's Skrillex and Boys Noise. Back in the day, they did a couple of songs that I used to bump constantly. And I had no idea that they had some new music out. The Algorythm, I searched for something, just looking for something. And then I looked up Dog Blood. Actually, I just looked it up to pick one of those older songs. And I saw that they had new music out like a year ago. And it's really unique. It's like almost like 90s-ish, but with that new like obviously like high production value and a lot of layering to the sound and production
like
to
that.
it. But it's got like those little like 90s kind of like corny, almost like 90s raver,
There's
which
so
I
many
still
good-
think is cool. And I think like the young chicks and the young dudes are like gonna be so 90s in the next like 6 months.
Dude, 90s techno is fucking awesome. I love 90s house music.
I love 90s. That was one of my first loves was Super Dance Hits 96.
Super dance hits.
On the topic of music, I was also listening to Pump Up the Jams. But
Pump it up.
yeah, my brother had a game on PS1, PlayStation, original PlayStation, that was like a music game. And it was basically what all these new like Ableton and like
Ableton, that's what Skrillex uses.
yeah, all those Fruity Loops, all those like design things.
FL Studio is like my favorite, easiest to use.
We should make some music sometime because I have so many ideas, but I don't have the interface. So we should do that sometime. We'll make a new album. Regin, the new album is coming this winter.
Yeah, we could probably do it on Logic. I got Logic. That's pretty easy to use.
We'll make an album this winter to coincide with our podcast. But Dog Blood with Skrillex and Boys Noise, they've got new weird, it's not that new, it's a year old, but to me it's new. That's one of the ones I was listening to. Also Kiva, she's in this like Dark and Dangerous squad, which is like this DJ Truth who does a lot of streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, DJ Truth's good.
But Kiva, Khiva, she's a chick. She's got really good beats, like the dark, like kind of like, I don't know, I call them like black and red sounds, like just super dark and like dreamy, but like kind of scary vibes. And then with like chick vocals, which she sounds cool on it. So that's worth a listen to, Kiva.
I'll definitely check it out. I like DJ Shadow a lot. He's fucking sweet.
DJ Shadow?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I might be familiar.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I might know that I don't even know I know.
Fuck.
I definitely have a taste for the
song
weird
is
and
like,
obscure.
The song is like right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it.
Tippity tap.
Punch a lion in his crack.
Yeah.
Song. I can't. That's the only line I can think of right
That song I've heard a lot of times.
Yeah, DJ
Punch
Shadow.
a lion and it's crack, though.
Yeah.
Punch a lion and it's...
Picture this. I'm a bag of dicks. Pump me to your lips. I am sick. I will punch a baby bear in his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking...
That
DJ,
song.
DJ
I like
Shadow.
that song.
Fucking love that song.
Punch a baby bear in his dick, I always want to say.
I fucking love that song. He's got another one, Horror Show, that's really good. It's got
Horror Show?
Yeah, it's got a really good drop in it and everything, and awesome fucking dark beat. It's perfect.
AWOL Nation surprised me live. I've been to a lot of shows and I'm missing going to shows. So this is therapeutic for me. I saw AWOL Nation and they were surprisingly awesome live. The singer was like a great front man. He screamed like he didn't have a whole lot of effects on his microphone. Well, he could have, but it sounded good either way.
Yeah.
But they remind me of that kind of sound, like that kind of new wave.
I like it.
It's like pop metal almost.
It's definitely cool.
Interesting. Oliver Tree is another one I don't think I've mentioned on here yet.
No, I never heard of him.
But Oliver Tree was a show that I saw when I went to Camp Bisco 2 or 3 years ago. But he came out speaking of 90s with a bowl cut. And he had a windbreaker.
That's what I'm seeing right now. A purple windbreaker.
Came out with a windbreaker and Jenko jeans on a scooter. Then he ripped that off, and he busted out like the Shasta cup print, like the white cup with like the teal and pink shit. He came out with that, and he was just wild, dude. And his show was awesome, and it was like kind of rap, but like pop-ish rap. But it's just super, super artistic and weird, and you should check out Oliver Tree.
Yeah, I'm looking at his pictures now. I'll definitely do that.
He's got some new music out currently that's worth a listen.
I'll definitely check it out.
And then I want to do one little special music shout out. Steven Stromenger. Steven Stromenger on Facebook. He's this dude that I don't know how I found him. I found him through somebody that I know that I like saw at a show or like new from going to shows. But this dude, he's from like Ohio or something, and he just sits in front of like different instruments, like those digital ones with like the press button things or like a keyboard or multiple things. And he will just go through and do loops, but he makes like the weirdest, trippiest songs, and he does them in front of a green screen, and he's got really crazy visuals behind him. Yeah. And I just keep sharing his shit because it's great. And there's like so many different ones. He comes out with new content all the time. So I wanted to shout that out too. Steven Stromanger, he's got to get like a handle. I got to find out if he's got like an Instagram handle, but I'm going to definitely like do whatever I can to get that kid shit out because it's great. And it's like, I feel like you got to be a certain type of person to get into it, like sort of a hippie, but he's got like a long beard, like down to here. It's like braided and shit. And he's totally like a festival type guy, like a guy that you'd see at a festival that would just be chilling. But dude, every time I share his stuff, he's always like, "Thanks, man," and super nice. And like, the weird meanings and weird like messages of his songs are also like interesting. Like he's definitely done some acid for sure. But yeah, Steven Stromanger. It's like SRTOHMENGER. But worth a check out. Definitely worth a watch.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, dude. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today?
No, dude. I'm fucking exhausted today. I had a long fucking day today.
Yeah. You have a long weekend ahead of you?
Short weekend. I'm off tomorrow and got to work on Sunday.
You got a nice relaxing weekend with Alice the Wonder Cow and Peg with her bra. Matt does video for a little zoo animal shelter.
Animal sanctuary out in Newfane.
And I don't have a second job anymore. I called it quits, but I hope that they're doing good over at the place I used to work at. Yeah, I'm obviously doing good getting to do stuff like this.
I'm sure they're doing good.
My throat is sore from talking too much. You're probably sick of me.
No, dude. I'm good. Like I said, I'm just exhausted today. I want to get in fresh next week.
Yeah.
I got a couple ideas I want to do next week on our next podcast. And
yeah, we're going to keep it fresh. Follow us on Instagram. We'll be sharing weird shit. We'll be sharing a bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking about here on the pod.
Yeah, this will be posted tomorrow. I'll get it on everything.
We're going to keep making videos. We're going to start making some individual hot takes. Maybe start experimenting with some remote interviews with some people. Stay tuned because winter's coming, and once winter comes, we're not going to be able to do anything outside. So I'm sure we'll have a lot of stuff to think about.
Well, we'll have a lot of material and content out there, too.
Fall's coming. Winter's right around the corner.
Ooh.
Stay tuned, world. Buffalo, all of you around the world.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.